We have Majesty's Fandy's Fiend Turbo Horus Edition, Swordsoul Runick. Raidraptor, you're going to enjoy these. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. How many fiends can we put in a deck? You know, I love the idea of this deck. You know, basically, your Horus package just continuously puts, you know, bodies on the field, and you just go ahead and you deploy either the Vandy's Fiend or the Ruler. It kind of depends on which one can you actually, you know, see in order to actually matter here. Now, with how complicated I think that this deck can be, you're going to have to rely on maybe some not-so-happy choices that you're going to have to make here. And one of those being, you know, Dark Ruler no more, and quite possibly skill drains and, well, summon limits in order to give this deck a shot in order to, you know, kind of balance out and do its thing here. And that also means, yes, we're going to have to dust off evenly matches because you need going second cards. Like, when you're playing a deck like this who feels like its entire purpose is it wants to go first, it wants to be able to set up, capitalize on these, you know, incredibly strong monsters, just to have them lose to Imperm, but I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? Like, you feel so good about yourself, you're like, oh yes, I opened a Vanity's Ruler with like some good stuff along the way, and your opponent's just like, nah. Though I will say, if you can seed the Mausoleum on the high roll, and be able to put the 4 Horus monsters on the field, maybe, you know, cycling through like a giant trainer to kind of get there, I think you can go places. It's why you're obviously maximizing on the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation here. That way, whichever, you know, field spell that you need to go down. A lot of these sub-decisions are going to be based on, you know, how did I open up? Do I need to immediately access X card right now in order to kind of patch up the situation? And that's going to be the biggest things for you to kind of consider when you're looking at playing, you know, this style of deck. I mean, you got to love these control decks. Like, this is the kind of stuff I live for. All right. So, we've reached the point in my dueling career that I can officially go, what is this? What are we doing here? Like, are we just so upset with how the current meta is here that we're like, okay, so we spam Baron, we spam Qingxing Longyun or Chang Ying here, and our entire purpose is go ahead and just start controlling the field. I will not lie, though. Chang Ying with pretty much any Runick card is pretty disgusting at, like, the things that you're going to be able to do, because Mr. Chang Ying includes a very, very good effect that allows you to do some very pleasurable things with this card, especially for the controlling options. Yeah, this is what you care about, honestly. This card fueling Runick control options on the field is very good. Now, do keep in mind, unfortunately, this deck kind of has to play Super Poly right now, because I don't think it can handle a lot of the crazy fields. I mean, Garua and Mud Dragon are probably going to be your best options. And I mean, I guess you could Super Poly into Sleipnir or Hugin in a world like you feel like that's going to actually come up. You know what I mean? Because you have different options and things for these sorts of builds to kind of, I guess, come up for what you want. And then, of course, hi, Swordsoul Summit. How are you? A free little monster reborn along the way, I guess, is also fine. But just think about the way that this deck is structured, you know. Basically, all you need, it might feel like you're running a very minimalistic Swordsoul build, which, I mean, you are. You're not playing any of the Tenyi stuff to kind of assist you along the way for you to you know, be able to extend out, you know. So the Mo Yi, you're going to have to actually see one of the extra Wyverns or Swordsoul cards along the way. But I think that's fine. You know, you're playing this deck on a localized level, you know what you're doing. Next up here we have some Raidraptors for you today. And, you know, you notice anything down here in this extra deck? There's no Kali King Yuga anywhere to be seen, actually, which is, so many people were like, yeah, you gotta play the Kali King Yuga, yeah, play it, and it's like, no, stop it, alright? Kali King was good on, like, the first week of the deck, and it has long since been phased out. Like, there's no real point to playing it right now, you know? Most of I think my favorite end boards on this deck are, well, like Double Rising Rebellion Falcon, the Ultimate Falcon, and your opponent's just like, wow, 3 monsters. They're literally all unaffected, by your opponent's by other card effects. Yeah, that's typically the best way to play this deck. Just put how many towers monsters can you put up, and then have your opponent go, wow, I can't really 4,000 attack points. Yeah, I can't out that. GG Duelist. We've reached the point that one towers monster was incredibly strong. Now we've gone ahead and we've evolved further beyond that. It's turned into how many towers monsters can you put on the field? One, well, a little bit audible. Two, sure. Three, well, it's probably going to be a bad time. This is why we have Destructive Daruma Cannon to help us with these sorts of problems, as we're going to say. But outside of that, deck, you've got everything that you need here with these. Playing the one copy of this, playing the one copy of the Glorious Bright. The Samoric Bird of Perfection I still think is one of the best methods for this deck to kind of do its thing. Outside of that, I can't really think of anything else too crazy. You just, once again, gotta understand, you're playing Raidraptors. Not every matchup is going to be your friend. And, well, can your opponent out however many towers monsters you can put on the field? Alright. We have Labyrinth with Unchained in here. So we are playing the one Shavara with the one copy of the Escape. You know why? Because they're all fiends. I think it's genuinely one of the little things I've enjoyed about this deck is, the fact that you can put this Unchained support to actual use in this deck for being able to spin through the options, look at your opponent and go, well, I'm sorry, Duelist. Quite unfortunately, there is not much you can do about this. We are playing one Destructive Daruma. We are doing an Ice Dragon's Prison. And I see we are playing one copy of the Black Goat Laughs in here as well. Post-side decking, you do actually bring in the different dimension ground. You also do see the barrier, and we actually have an Eradicator coming on in here as well. And we're also playing the Barrier Statue of the Abyss. We've seen the Barrier Statue of the Abyss be a disgusting card in Chimera branded because, they have a way to literally revive this. And to be fair, when the best deck in the room right now is actually fire, it used to be problems with dark being the best deck, or, light. So, those respective barrier statues really wouldn't get the chance to shine. But we've reached the point now that these barrier statues have to return back into the meta because, you need these to do the thing. Also, it's a fiend monster. You gotta, once again, that synergy with these mini little fiend toolboxes out here, exploiting the fact that you have a barrier statue that you can manipulate to assist you in dueling. Still playing the triple transaction rollback. Man, have we not learned our lesson about leaving this card at the massive capabilities? Yes, we have. You have to play this card. Unfortunately, I still think that this card causes a lot more problems, but current Yu-Gi-Oh! Has foreshadowed every sort of issue that we might actually have ever seen with this card. And, we have plants for you today. We're back to doing the Aromage stuff. So I will say, I like the current evolution of plants because, obviously you still have the Sunseed backing for this deck. And then, of course, you just kind of go down the Aromage package now to kind of give this deck, new life. Obviously, you're still playing the Rika cards. You're not going to take the Rika cards out of the deck because the Rika stuff gives you some pretty strong floating options, which I actually do kind of like. Hello, Magnolia. We are playing one copy of the Synchro as well, so, and of course, honestly, your 3 exceeds, but everything else is still going to be going down most of your toolboxing plan options and, accessing Balancer because he still is, basically the heart and soul of the deck. Outside of that, we still are doing the triple crossouts. Honestly, your crossout targets being these 3. The fact that this deck could possibly cross out a Ghost Ogre is kind of funny to me at the end of this. And I also see, hello Rika Sheet, how are you? Outside of that, we are playing one Blessed Winds and one Humid Winds as well, and we are playing one copy of the Aroma Blend in here as well. So, the deck feels 47 cards might be a lot. You are playing the triple Painful Decision. Kind of interesting to actually see Painful Decision show up. But you're doing triple Unexpected Die with triple Painful Decision. So as long as you're able to get to the normal summon and then kind of, start combo, you should be golden playing this deck. It's actually kind of cool. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.